Hi, my name is Matt. I'm one of the pastors at City Church. We've been going through our devotions every day. I've been working through the Psalms, and I want to share with you something of Psalm 5. So let me read to you Psalm 5. To the choir master for the flute, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my groaning. Give attention to the sound of my cry, my King and my God. For to you do I pray. O Lord, in the morning you hear my voice. In the morning I prepare a sacrifice for you and watch. For you are not a God who delights in wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand before your eyes. You hate all evildoers. You destroy those who speak lies. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But I, through the abundance of your steadfast love, will enter your house. I will bow down toward your holy temple in the fear of you. Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before me. For there is no truth in their mouth. Their innermost self is destruction. Their throat is an open grave. They flatter with their tongue. Make them bear their guilt, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Because of the abundance of their transgressions, cast them out, for they have rebelled against you. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever sing for joy and spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may exult in you. For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You cover him with favour as with a shield. Well, this psalm has this tension all the way through it, this, in one sense, yearning for justice against evil, but also this desire to walk intimately with God. David, who's the writer of the psalm, very clearly has in mind these evildoers who have rebelled against him as he was king, but also rebelled against God, and he wants justice to be done for them. But David also has this confidence that he will not have the same fate as these evildoers. He will walk intimately with the Lord. He'll be in the house, the presence of God. He will be blessed by God. Now that's interesting because David was a murderer and an adulterer. He did loads of things wrong and rebelled against God in all sorts of different ways. So can you see the tension? Well, how does this work? Demanding both justice, but also having confidence that God's going to welcome you and bless you. One of the things that I've noticed about being in this lockdown period is that we're kind of away and separated from perhaps lots of challenges outside, perhaps people we didn't get on with, people we didn't like or who didn't like us. And yet we still find ourselves in a tricky situation because we got locked down, didn't we, with ourselves, with our selfishness. We got locked down with our own desires and our selfish habits. All of the things that David rails against are the things that are within our heart. And despite us being separated from everyone out there, we're locked in with us. And it hasn't taken long, has it? I'm sure for all of us to have appreciated in lots of different ways our own weakness, our own sin, our own habitual rebellion against God. So how does this psalm give us any sort of comfort? Well, the key to it is that David looks towards, in verse 3, a sacrifice for his sins. That's what he's talking about there, with the hope that this sacrifice will see that his sin is cleansed so that he might be forgiven by God and have access to God. Now, we as Christians know that ultimate sacrifice for our sins was paid by Jesus. And that means, just like David, we can have every confidence that God will one day bring justice, but actually the punishment for sin won't fall on us. And we will be given the freedom to know and have intimate access to God and enjoy God's blessing and favour, which is why at the very end of the psalm, David speaks of let all who take refuge in you rejoice, let them sing for joy. And one of the things I want you to see is there is this really close connection in the psalm between refuge and joy. This connection between God being our protection and shield and that leading to a sense of celebration, emotional vitality and strength in our faith. And so the question the question lies on this one. If we're struggling to find joy, then perhaps it's a warning light on the dashboard of our heart that actually we're losing confidence that God provides the protection we want. And if we're not sure that God provides the protection we want, then perhaps we're looking for protection in the wrong place. Perhaps that's because we've forgotten about our sin. Perhaps it's because we're pointing the finger at other people being the problem in our lives, rather than the problem fundamentally being in ourselves. A problem that Jesus has dealt with fully for those of us who trust him, and a problem that when we take refuge in the Lord, leads us to know that no matter what happens to us, no matter our circumstance, no matter how we are or what we're like, God is our protection and refuge, and that is the spark, the source, the wellspring of our joy. I hope that's an encouragement to you, and I look forward to sharing with you the next psalm.